On today's Monday Minute, we've been talking so much about stream, stack, and scale and really creating a sustainable business model. And if you've been following along and if you've listened, you've noticed that my voice has changed compared to last week, to the end of last week because I got sick. Right. And you probably noticed that my podcast episodes weren't popping up at 4 a.m. every morning. They were popping up like maybe by 5 p.m. every day. And that is because that is the business I have created. Yes, my goal is to always have something planned and ready to go by 4 a.m. But when sickness happens, it happens, right? But what I ended up doing last week was really canceling everything just because I couldn't do it. I couldn't talk. I was feeling really bad. And then this week was pretty open because I knew that I was going to be getting ready to go to Hawaii, which on April 3rd. And so basically what I have done now is I have moved everything from last week to this week's schedule. And everything I needed to get ahead before I leave is on this week's schedule. So my point is that I love a really white, empty calendar, and I thrive on that. But also, I thrive on deadlines. I thrive on getting stuff done. And I have the luxury of when I sat down earlier today to work on my calendar, that it was very, very white. It was very clear, right? There wasn't a whole lot on it. And I have personally filled it up, number one, to catch up from last week and to get ahead before I leave. That was my intention. But I am able to do that because I have a business based on freedom. I have a business based on scalability. I have a business based on sustainability. If I did not have that and had not created that, I would not be able to fill up my calendar because it would have already been filled up. And then I would have been double booking, and then I would have been stressed out, and then I've been pulling my hair out. But that's not the way it's happening because I had the freedom to do that. Here's the other thing. I know we talk a lot about ease and we talk a lot about flow and we talk about working we want, but also at the same time and the same duality, if you love your business and you want to work 10 hours a day, work 10 hours a day. Nobody's telling you you can't do that. So I just want to make it very, very clear that on days that I'm feeling super inspired, like last week on Friday, I was still like really congested. I was not getting on video. And I don't know if you could have understood me anyhow. But I was like, I want to work on my business. Like I'm feeling pulled just to pull up my laptop and just do something, which most of the week I didn't. I was laying on the couch, Netflixing it. And so what I did was I worked on the back end of my business and worked on some ads that I've been wanting to do and some creatives that I've been wanting to do. And I wanted to change my tripwire for one of my opt-ins. So I had time to do all of that because I couldn't really do anything else because I didn't really feel up to doing anything else. So my point is that when you run a freedom-based business, you have the freedom to do these types of things. You have the freedom to fill up your calendar if you choose to do so or not. You have the freedom to work 2 hours a day or 10 hours a day, and you get to do it by design. And I'll never forget my first mentor that I was in her mastermind. She was always like, create a life of design, but it's also create a business that you design. Create what feels good and looks good to you. And on a final note, because I want to keep this under 5 minutes, I decided to add a bonus to Stream, Stack, and Scale. And this normally is something I wouldn't do because it's a boundary issue. However, I did it out of abundance, not out of lack. And I think that's a key indicator when we want to add a bonus. I basically skipped out of a week of a program because I was sick. Now, that's life and that happens. And you don't have to do a bonus. You don't have to add anything if this happens to you. But if you feel aligned and you feel called to add something else and call it a bonus, do that. So I added a Telegram group access for Q&A so we can strategize and we can get down to the bottom of all these stacks and streams and all the things that the clients that are in there want to ask. It's your business, my friend. You design it the way that you want to. How do you want to design yours?